Hello, everyone. Back again. Welcome back to another video review. Yeah, apologies about that. The last little video there, but yeah, let's just say, yeah, the heck with it, because Primus Law says that. Anyways, and now it's coming to you. Damn it, Everin! Anyways, and with that being said, everyone, that's not the end of the live stream. Hello, Roger. Hey, Callum. And Peoples. Yes. So stand by. We have someone well known who will be joining the stream. This will be probably abbreviated, but it'll be quick. Don't think it will be, but we'll see. Cause lots of things I have to do on the plate. So yeah, there's that, and that. So sad. Anyway. So while I wait for that, hopefully everyone enjoyed that episode I made, which is very good. Hopefully everyone gets a chance to see on the 27th, which is a very well-known episode because it's about completed and will be completed. In conclusion, no, it's not in conclusion. In conclusion of that thought, everyone, I am waiting for those to join. No, I won't send you the link because it's broken. Well, Roger, I'll give you a hint. It's someone who was recently in, well, not recently, not my last one, which was a bust. The one before that, actually, because yeah, you can see the sun echoing in the stars. Hello, Jeremy the Tank Engine. Yeah, Jeremy is he's a young fella. He's pretty cool. He's a pretty good sprite maker. So Jeremy, yeah, he's a good pal of mine, and I'm certain that he will enjoy Troy Oi Oi Oi. Troy Oi Oi Oi. I remember that very well from 2009 or 2005, I should say. 2005 was such a year of, X note. Of course. Of course, for certain. For certain, my friend. Let's see. Thomas Train's models from 3006. There's aside from the normalities and a few of the original characters. That's sadly about it, because
Oh boy! If you listen to this, you've obviously.
Hi there, Brandon.
oh,
apologize if you heard what that was. That was my buddy Carl Dutton doing a review on the Amazing Spider-Man 2, which was 2014 or 13 film or whatever it was. But I was just currently looking at that and I noticed your link was there. So want me on. So I hit that and I didn't realize the video was still playing.
that's all right.
Yeah, he's a good, very, very good close buddy of mine. He's like a brother figure to me. He's kind of cool with his reviews, and you would enjoy him quite a lot, especially when he starts laughing. Yeah, he brings out some good reviews and everything. He's like, DC, Marvel, WWE fan, and everything else. But yeah, but in any case, I had no idea we were going to go live again. But that's the third stream we've done. Well, in total with you and me, but second time we're doing it with you now.
Yes.
But ladies and gentlemen, in case if you have not noticed, well, obviously this is Brandon's stream and not mine. He's the one hosting the call. It's making me sound like I'm the one who's doing it. But
yes.
Yeah, that's. But in case if any of you guys are wondering what's happening on this, okay, let me rephrase that. So what's going on this week's stream? Well, to put it short and sweet, well, let's just say there's a bit of a some irritating stuff going on. Not like pestering or anything, but there was a bit of a not so uneasy selling going on here because apparently I would say I'm PO'd, but as you can tell by my expression, I'm very, very confused and like, what the hell is going on here? So, yeah, to put it short and sweet, if you go on my DA thing, you may notice I've put a new stats on there to inform my audience, apparently on there, to let them know that unfortunately there's been a bit of a unsettling situation, which apparently has baffled my mind. And there's two DA guys who I do not even know who the heck they are, but they seem to know who I am. And they're making these claims, well, I should say, or should I say, in better terms, false accusations about, I don't really want to bring it up, but, because I had this thing 2 years ago and then 3 months prior to that again, because it was one of the most uncomfortable things in my life, which I'd moved on from since for the last 2 years and accepted it and hid away and, keeping my opinions about it. But because we're now live and anybody else who might hear this might get the wrong impression, even though I've spoke about this a long time ago. It's about the whole the issue about me being homophobic. Now, I'm very reluctant to bring this up, but I have had this issue before, and I actually did seek help about how to deal with that for future instances which have gone on super duperly well, you know, because I've had a couple of friends of mine who have revealed to be that kind of thing. So as long as I'm told, I'm fine and okay with it, and have no trouble with it. I just don't want to get too caught up with it. The fact of the matter is, these two DA wannabe users apparently, actually, if I'm not too sure where it is, but where it is actually, hang on, if I can just go down here in my fast stats or whatever the heck it is here on DA, because I really had some good files and saw some pretty unique things that I thought were quite cool. But while I'm doing that, anything you want to say, anything, Brandon, to let the audience out there know what's going on?
Yes. Long story short, Glenn has told me some very dark details about two DeviantArt users that have gotten under his skin and has threatened to do stuff to him and whatnot. So let's just say Glenn is not too pleased with this, and I've been trying to assist him in defeating these two.
Well, of course, we have to take the right measures. I've just told a few of my friends, like Acuity, aka Blake Hawkins, who you may know in DA. You know, one of my old school DA friends who I've known, who I used to voice with in Die4's series, which I've been doing for like 7 to 8 years now, I think, or close to 10 years now, I think. But he's seen what I've put up, and of course, I also got information from Greyhound Productions, who many of you guys might know, or most of you don't know, who actually voiced James in the Clinchfield Curse, who did a fantastic role as James. And I have to admit, it kind of matched the style I wanted to give his character, being more mature and not a cheeky, cocky, arrogant red engine, because I was, you know, a change in persona, you know, which is what I thought would be intriguing, and that's another story. But that's another thing. But he saw what I wrote and sent to him. He said, "Don't reply back. They'll only let you, you know, fall for what they're going to do, and you will get repercussions for this." But I did do the right, appropriate measure by blocking them, which I have done. But fact is, I had to tell certain people, you know, who will listen and everything. And I've told Dan the Counter, apparently, this is the reason where I got this from, who does amazing artwork, especially with his recent stuff on Timothy, which he does recent scenes that I voiced in, and which have become pretty iconic in a way. And he recently did one here, which I'm trying to find here at the moment, but I'm having a little... oh, I was going to say I'm having trouble finding it because my files are a little messed up. But I found it anyway, and I'm just going to flip it round here, ladies and gentlemen. What you're about to see is definitely evidence. But if anybody else who I've known in the past are going to see this, they won't believe me. They'll think this is like, oh, Glenn, you're acting immature, you're just sinking into what they're going to do, you're not listening here. But here's what I'm doing right now, and of course, I feel like I'm doing the right thing, even if some people may not believe I'm doing the right thing. But at least I'm not throwing a fit, or as one old buddy would say, I'm not blowing my stack about this. Okay. I'm not sure if that was the right term to use, but
that's okay.
Yeah, because I feel like that wasn't the right choice of word to use, but I felt like it was. Okay, now where is it? Okay, here's my share screen thing, and here we go. And sorry, lads, if you're just about to get blinded by there, but here's what I found. So you can see here now, right? This is what Dan the County had done. Dan, or whatever his name was. Brilliantly done art drawing based on the Kurt Roman scene with the fact where the old controller and Timothy, and the infamous scene I did my entire voice dubbing. But look at this down here as proof of evidence. Here's the first thing I got here. That there, as you can see there, when I'm highlighting, that's what he said.
Yeah.
That's why I think he said, yeah, he said that to me. And down here,
he also said that. Okay.
And this comment reply I'm trying to highlight, if my mouse can stop acting like an absolute idiot here. There we go. Finally got it hanged in. That is directed to Dan the Counter down there. To think I'm a cancer, just like Timothy, absolutely ridiculous. I mean, who would have the audacity to do such a thing? And look at this. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I blocked this bloke, yeah, because, you know, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
Originally, I came and checked. He only had recently joined, or whatever the hell it was. And if you think that's kind of obnoxious, I think that's the word, or the word atrocious. That's the word I was looking for.
Okay.
Here's what I found here, Brandon, and I'm not too pleased about this, but I had to see this, and I didn't reply back because I'm absolutely just baffled with this. And this dude, whoever he's called, this guy here,
Forza Touch. Never.
I don't know who this guy is. And look at this. And that's why he said I sent you this earlier. But look at this, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who don't know, this is absolutely atrocious and, in my view, inexcusable. Unless this is done to try and tip me off, it's not going to work.
This must be some sort of like phony account or something. I don't know.
Beats me. It's not the first time this has happened. I mean, because someone sent me a note this way and I just didn't bother, and in a matter of days he was taken down. So this could be a very similar outcome. I'm not too sure, but that's what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's so many friends I've got called Dan. I mean, I've got a married brother one who's got one, and I've got a friend of mine on Skype who's called Dan, and now this bloke. There's so many guys I know, sometimes I don't even know which one I'm referring to. Jeez.
Yeah.
To say such atrocious things is absolutely just uncalled for. I mean, there are guys going to be like that because they have no other interest, or they just like to do it because it's for fun, and of course that's what happens with recent users nowadays. And it really, really is, you know, not the right thing, because it was never like this back, like if we go maybe a decade or 15 years on or whatever, until the whole landscape of this whole online industry, I think that's the correct word, but it's all changed. It's all changed, and just look what's become of it in the last few years. I mean, social media does have its ups and downs, but there's always that occasion where you think it's a good place to be, and then you see the downside, and it's really up to you to how you want to deal with it.
Oh, of course, for certain.
I mean, just to ask you out of curiosity, Brandon, have you ever had to deal with that once during your early days, even before you and I even met?
Oh, like with fake social media stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Or just like anything else? Well, I mean, there's been some questionable accounts. Not like that. No, not like where it was like, oh, what you showed me. No. Let's just say there were some fake accounts that were basically, you know, trying to convince me to do something I'm not going to say on the live stream. Something very obvious and inappropriate.
That's very fine. I mean, we had that once when we were with Nick the last time, and we mentioned about a certain user who I'm still in contact with, but tend to not. Well, I'm going to regret saying that, but I do my best. But there are times where I have seen users who countlessly send me notes and then countlessly send me messages to the point where I'm like, you know, thinking in my mind, not saying it out loud, but it's like, okay, you're sending me too much of this. And then there's one DA guy he says, please fav this now, and to the point where I'm actually starting to see that there's actually more desperate fools out there who are just begging and pleading because they got nobody else to turn to. And what concerns me is that, you know, what will DA do? And, you know, because, you know, they had great users on there who would do immense talent and everything else, and then you get this other individual who thinks he's good, and then he shows his true colors by being this and that. And, you know, I mean, I've just recently gone over the whole idea about my whole problems with, you know, with my past users with Shine and Ariel and hopefully Fletcher if he ever bothers popping up, if he ever does. The fact is, you know, I've kind of seen what they were trying to tell me. This is a different topic here, I'm telling you here. You know, when I told you earlier on, they were trying to tell me that I speak too much, that I don't let anybody else get the opportunity, and it's always about me, and I let a topic fall back onto me. And I have thought about this for the last several weeks, and it has come to my knowledge that was what led to the downside of so many cut ties with everything because of that. And it has made me, you know, more aware that I need to let other people speak their minds and let them, you know, have their moment while I wait my turn, and try not to make it all be about myself. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not wrong to feel important. I mean, we all feel that way about ourselves, but the way how I put it is not the right way, and I should have known that. And I was so blinded and very arrogant to not even realize that, because I was enjoying what the outcome was, and because it was having an effect on my life here on the internet, but also in my life, and I felt happy with who I was, and I felt like I can do these great things. But you know, there comes a certain limitation, and I didn't notice that. So I feel gutted about it still, and I just hope that one day, if it does, which is kind of unlikely, but I do feel there's a teeny weeny bit of hope that maybe things will settle down. Hopefully I can get back in, and hopefully, you know, they will see that I have changed, which Nick Boger did say I have done, but they haven't seen the progress behind this computer screen. I mean, on the internet, people act very, very differently on the internet, but when you see them in the flesh, you know that they've changed. Here on the internet, you think, oh no, you're still the same person. Like, oh, Glenn, you're back to your old bickering ways, your old ways, as Dave Lambert, aka Pun Mountain, would say. But I haven't been that way for months. I'm trying to convince, you know, but nowadays people do not believe just about anything, and that's okay. Okay, just pause for a second there, but I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, see you later. I'm sorry, Mum. I'm just on a live stream again with Brian.
He knows, doesn't he? All right, so let's see.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back and I'm loaded with a Pepsi. I shouldn't have said that, but that just came out randomly. But what I was just trying to say was, like I said, hopefully, you know, if things do go according to plan, well, not to plan, but I'm hoping that things can be settled in, and hopefully we can all get back together, because there will be a good chance I can get my Mac repaired and hopefully get the data transplanted. Then I can go back to doing what I was going to do, because I actually had intentions of moving forward with my 311 project, to take a break from doing that and doing other things that are not related. But I had this idea of doing audio series, like what you can hear but you can't see, because at the time I was actually having a blast. Because here's some trivia for some people who may not know this, but throughout part 7 to 8, or I think it was in part 10 all the way to the final of that film, I actually was doing a lot of audio, because I felt like every bit should be every 15 minutes or so, depending on how long, because that's how long my videos could go. And it did save me more editing time to put the sound effects in, and then you put the footage on afterwards, and then put the effects in, like a stack of Lego blocking. And that's what I actually did at the end, and it saved a lot of time, and it was a lot more easier and less stress for me. That's what I was going to do after the whole project, before I was in this current state of, you know, my Mac's breaking down and I have to wait, and I might be out of action for a few years or so. It seems to be looking that way, I guess, until I can afford the money to do it. But yeah, that's one project, ladies and gentlemen, I told you about. But anyways, this whole thing about this whole previous homophobic stuff, apparently this is not the first time this has happened. It's now the third time that these guys have like brought this all up, and this is an attempt to brainwash or poison the minds of every DA user to believe that I'm still this, you know, which I no longer am, you know, because I'll admit I wasn't quite used to this whole thing, and you know, and I used to keep my distance a lot, and I do mean my distance because I was not comfortable. I mean, there's a difference from liking and disliking and hating. I'm just, you know, but that's what I would say, and it wasn't the first time. I had an old YouTube buddy of mine called Jason the Double X, whatever his name was, he began this whole thing, and then he started spreading all the stuff about that, you know, on my on DA, and then that's what caused the whole hatred of me to be mislooked upon as that, and then it just spread from YouTube, and then it went on to Skype and all. But he kept on bringing up this and that, and then eventually the whole community was told. Not everybody believed it, but there were those who kind of, like, you know, try to spread a lot of BS on, and then and I wasn't just going to stand for any. And at first, I just kind of brushed it off, and I thought, what's the big deal? And, you know, I felt that it wasn't wrong. But after talking to some personal close friends of mine who I won't say, told me, you know, there will be people who have their own opinions, and nowadays it's very sensitive, and you can be offended by people who, when you say that. But, and then I kind of made my mind up about it, and throughout the rest of that, it was all right. And then 3 months later on, it just happened again, and it was worse, and I kind of lost the plot, and I just didn't really care, you know. Because in this day and age, I kind of think it is a big deal, but at the same time, I should keep my opinions about, and that's what I've done since. And now, these two unusual DA members, who I don't even know, and one of them says that he knows what I did to him, but I don't even have any memory. There's no evidence or whatever the heck, unless he's going to try and spread more news about whatever it is. But the fact is that it's total you know what, Brandon. I don't want to say anything offensive here on this live stream to everybody out there, but you get my drift. It's just not right.
I know, like it's so not like appropriate. I know what you're trying to say, and I'm by your side no matter what, Glenn, because for some reason these two are trying to get under your skin. I mean, the last thing that I worry about is not that they're disguised as people that you've dealt with in the past that may have come back for revenge in a way.
Yeah, and using social media to attack me. I mean, Sam the Tank Engine, who informed me about my previous thing, he said that my life on social media is just getting more darker. And let's just say in a way that wasn't my, you know, my idea. It's just that I think there were actions taken about that shouldn't have been done the right way. And of course, you know, it's not like this place is the way to sell your differences. It's up to what you're thinking out there, and it's just not right, you know. But to be honest with you, every time a new year comes, I move on and forget in the past. You know, you don't dwell on it, and that's why I feel that in the last couple of years, a lot of guys have dwelled on where I've learned from these things, and I don't look back on it. But it's like I'm being riled up and trying to be reminded of what I did wrong, and that bit's what really something I can't stand with. And to me, I feel like that's another way of trying to irritate and get me PO'd to show my true colors that I haven't changed. And I'm not going to fall for that. You know, people can, you know, contest me as much as they want, but they don't realize that they're making the mistakes of themselves. They're the ones that are making fools. They're the ones who are in the wrong, and I'm not. And it's just not fair and square. You know, it's, I mean, how can I go on? You know, how can I continue with this ranting where I'm not going to reach a conclusion? Whereas the fact is that this is just not, you know, it's uncalled for, it's not, and it's unacceptable. And I hate to be like, you know, like throw it back at someone, but if I did all that, I would be ashamed and admit, and I would, you know, be very guilty about that. But this whole instant thing is just not right, and something has to be done. Otherwise, you know, because I've been threatened to be exposed more often, and you saw in one message saying that whoever this douchebag was, he's not going to stop until I leave DA and YouTube, and I'm not going to leave. I'm not going to. I'm staying here until then, you know, because I'm not what this idiot thinks I am. I mean, if anybody else here was on live with us now, I dare ask you, you know, am I that sort of individual? You know, if anybody in the chat apparently comes up live, well, it's going to be obvious I'll be on after when this thing gets uploaded, because I do see information after these streams are done. But still, it's just uncalled for, and to be honest with you, it's just not fair and square. I don't know how many times I've just said that, but what else can I say?
I agree with you. Yeah, like it's not appropriate. It's not suitable. Like you're correct, Glenn. Like there's just so many unanswered questions, and yet we just gotta solve this. Like it's like trying to it's like trying to find more than one needle in a haystack. It's just, we just got to figure this out together, like as a team.
Well, I've given you my side, so what's your side of it anyway, Brandon?
Oh, from what your side? Well, okay,
before you do so, apparently you know who apparently just sent me on Facebook, and and you're not gonna believe it, but even she has agreed with what we're saying. Just ignore the haters, and that's it. Oh, for once she can use her head correctly.
Okay.
All right then, that's all right then. That's pretty good. Either ways, what you were gonna say anyway? Back to you, mate.
Yes. So when I first heard about your situation, this was probably around, what was it, February or March this year, and I was thinking, oh goodness, like this can't be good. And then I heard the whole situation about Ariel and all that and Shine, and it's like, oh dear, Ariel, Shine. And then they told me their side of the story, and then of course you telling me, and I'm like, oh dear, there has to be a misunderstanding somewhere. So, and of course you coming to my services, and I'm like, okay, I'll see what I can do. And here we are on this live stream trying to put the pieces together and try and put all this nonsense to bed once and for all.
Apparently, it's just we'll see what we can do about it. I mean, the best way is what we're doing here, and the result is just down to what's going to happen. Not everything's perfect in this world. If everything was the same, it would be very, very boring, and that's a true fact.
Of course, for certain.
Apparently, yeah, that's definitely going to be. Sorry, I can only imagine what the audience are going to think when they see this, but at least it's for the best, and they have to be aware, even though some might be aware about this. Oh, it looks like her name has told you in the forum about this, and even, well, it looks like I've got two here who do believe me on this.
Yes,
yeah.
See, Roger is on our side. Of course, Roger's a good friend of mine.
I don't recall Roger unless... trying to refresh my memory.
Roger Rubenstein, he commented on the stream that you and I did with Nick.
Oh, nice. I'm surprised that some of the guys who are on here aren't even live with us right now.
Of course. Let's see.
No, Andrew's there. Andrew's on there live. I know Ground Productions was there, but he's been out of commission for 48 minutes.
Yeah. Let's see.
There's Georgie Grand, who does the Thompson Bambi crossover, who I don't recall speaking with, but he's online too.
Okay.
There's the two Nicks, Nicholas and Nick Boga.
Yep. And then there's and then there's Devrin. Devrin Hassan is like.
Yeah, that's one of my old school fans who's followed me for the last few years. I haven't heard from him for ages.
Yeah,
what he's up to.
He all I will say is that he's been helping my good friend Aaron, also known as Shunter Productions, with a few sides of whatnot.
Shunter Productions, yeah, he knows where I am. He doesn't really he just never liked what I did, but he hasn't had any beef with me though. But I respect his opinions and I idolize him.
Oh yeah, he's quite well known. I mean, him and Carson and I mean, and of course, for those of you who haven't heard, yes, Thomas Whatever 223, of course, he's going to be ending his series this year, but so is Wild Nor'Wester, who announced it on his DeviantArt journals today.
But at least he'll end up with a bang, and but who knows? But that doesn't mean he's not going to stop ending building models or making some routes or whatever. But who knows what he might do, But at least he's had a good run with it. But he could do so much. But it's a shame, because I was really looking forward to seeing what he could bring. Like, he didn't have to do a series anymore. He could always make mini videos or make parodies or even do something special once in a while.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And as for Thomas 1 Henry 2 Henry 3, wow, the guy who has the ultimate respect for me here in the community, because he said that to me a few years back. Well, you know, originally, you know, once he's done with his things, and afterwards, and once he moves to an actual college, which is what he told me on Twitter, what's going on is that, you know, I said to him that once he's done with that, once I do get back to what I'm going to do, I'm going to cast him for special reasons, you know, because that's what I'm going to do with him, you know, because I think he's that type of individual who deserves that. And the same might happen to Victor Tangers as well, which I did see one of his new videos at a place.
Yeah, Victor Tanzig, I mean, he'll probably go on for many, many years. That's my feeling, but that's up to him.
I'm very surprised he hasn't mentioned anything about some of the other guys, even though he's good friends with Shine Ortez, and you know, I'm very surprised he's not even made any contact about me or anything, or the fact, even though he did comment to me that he thanks me for being in the 311 film, I was kind of expecting him to think of like, what does he think about being involved, or give a shout out to, or something like that, because it wasn't really my idea to bring him in there.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a funny suspicion that it was Shine Ortez's idea to bring him in, which was a good thing, because I needed somebody to do 311's manager, and originally I was going to do that role, and I did do a voice dubbing on it once, and it was atrocious. I'm not going to lie, it was actually one of the worst voices I tried to do, and it just wasn't working out. So I had to let somebody else do it instead, and it worked.
Of course. I mean, Victor did a great job as 311's manager. I mean,
he didn't have to ask me twice about redoing any roles, even though he did send me via an email about it. Well, let's just say he didn't have to, because he says lines clean as a whistle, and that's how it happened. Although I do find it hilarious that he had to have that I had him and Thomas 102 and 103 talking as two characters, you know, because they're the two most recognized men in the community, even though some say that T1E2 and H3 is the god voice of anybody in the community.
Oh yeah, I mean, because Victor Tanzig can use his series is inspired by Tugs. And Thomas 123, I mean, it's just, yes, he includes swearing in it, which I know some people are offended by it, and I mean, I'm okay with it, you know. I mean, at least he doesn't, you know, go overboard with the swearing, because if he did, his channel would be R-rated than anything else.
Yeah, well, apparently he's actually lowered the tone as of lately, so we didn't say it as much now, which is a good thing. But I think back then he kind of, you know, I'm not going to lie, but I used to be offended. And I thought, okay, what's this big guy's deal? And then I realized, oh, he's all right. He's not pretty bad. And he mentioned that the fact that, you know, that because Jerome, aka the German Engine of Solo, as he likes to be called, he told me all about him and said that, you know, he has like a thing that where he tends to shout even though he doesn't mean to. And then he has, you know, and he had a form of autism like me. So I realized, so now I realized I've got something. But the reason why I felt a lot bonded to him is because, you know, nearly 5 years ago, I was in the first season of NWR Origin, you know, voicing Winston, aka the Red Engine, or as he likes to be called, Eagle. And I'm not gonna lie, that's what really got me settled, and I felt like I had something extremely special, and I've never looked back on it since, because at the time I was going known for voicing Timothy and doing Henry's voice, but this was fresh new ground for me, and I loved it. And even to this day, I watch back on it, and I felt like that was at one time where I think everybody in the community were a part of something special, because we were celebrating 70 or 75 years of Thomas ever since he first came, since 1945. And I thought that was brilliantly done, how it all came into play. And I was to be in the second season, you know, to voice Boko. But I'm very glad that Victor Tang took my place at the time. But when I watched it back, I kind of regret and a bit guilty, because after what he had and how he ended it, I was thinking, gosh, that could have been me saying all that. And but at the same time, I'm just glad Victor was there to fill my shoes for me, and you know, I'm proud of that. But then again, I feel like now I wish I could have not pass the role, but at the same time, yeah. But that's what had to happen. Because it's obvious I won't be voice acting for quite a long time.
Yeah, I mean, heck, I mean, there's always not the end of the world. I mean, there's always. Because, I mean, some of us have toyed the idea of redubbing Thomas Winter 23 series in a way, you know, including NW Origins. But I mean, it'd be kind of cool. I mean, heck, and if I mean, we'd be glad to have you like do Boku in the redub if you wanted.
Well, I've never voiced a Diesel like Boko, although I have to admit he was my favorite Diesel at the time. But who knows what might happen? Thing is, we have to ask him permission also. But I'll be surprised. But it depends really on what I'm going to do.
Oh yeah.
Really. Anyways, like I still enjoy your reviews, even though they tend to be very stuttery and a little sloppy, which I'm going to admit, but they are very enjoyable.
Yeah, I try not to. My intent wasn't to rush the process of the review because my goal was to get the Clinchfield review up by Halloween, which I did. So.
Oh, that to me is the best. I'm gonna be straight up with you. That was by far the most best and the most what the hell and the most funniest I've ever seen happen. And I can only imagine if you did that with the others, if you ever did. But at the same time, I'm thinking if that's going to be one clever way you could do that for anybody else's, project or whatever the heck. But if I ever get back to doing my other projects, like which were to be the Bridge of Doom, which focuses on the narrow gauge engines, because I did what you don't know in the actual other film of 311 was actually a teaser and to a future project that was going to happen.
Oh yes.
And then the next one would have been dubbed the Weeping Engine, which is basically
which would have been on.
That was basically Ghost Train 3.
Okay.
Yeah. And what were you going to say then afterwards before I kind of accidentally blurted in there?
That's all right. I was going to say, like, the Weeping Engine, so that's, I believe, on Panay. Like, because, I mean, I saw a sprite not too long ago on DeviantArt of Timothy meeting the ghost of an engine similar to the class of Rosie's basis.
Well, that was to be the case, but it turns out, no, it's going to be someone who looks like Percy. Why do you think Thomas said the engine he saw in there said it almost looked like him? There's a hint for you right there. And the whistle that I used was for the ghost engine itself.
Oh, yes. I mean,
there's a hint there. There was two hints. There's one for Bridge of Doom and the other one for Weeping Engine. So there were two teasers in there, but you don't quite know who they are.
Of course. I mean, it's time will tell. Hopefully, I can almost sense the once you get your computer situated and whatnot, then hopefully you'll be right back on track, and then things will be done with.
Depends really on what's going to happen the next few years of my life. I might end up retiring, I guess, if this continues. But I'm not, But I do have my engines around here on Scam. I still haven't got Bandicam or Fraps because I'm still going to learn how to make my own films, and hopefully I can transfer the data here to get to my other stuff to do my film, editing and filming all together, because that was the whole idea. But I'm still wondering what to think of.
Of course.
Because originally I was going to, after the whole Clinchfield thing, I had other ideas for a separate series where you have both American and British engines living together on Sodor, because I was getting some good responses, although in the preview, in the pre-production of doing the Clinchfield curves, there was a lot of backlash. But in the end of it, there was none of that taken. There was just a lot of Q&As, or in this case, a lot of questions and answers, but they were all in very interesting detail and not, hated backlash towards me. They were basically interested about how my knowledge of American steam engines was being told.
Absolutely, I felt bad for the original. Well, it was the pilot, the prologue there. yeah, like I mean, the narration was pretty good. Yes, I know people really, really like lashed at the narrator, but in the end, with Shine taking over, it was like putting on a new pair of gloves in a sense.
Yeah, what it is was because well, actually, we needed a prologue narrator, and then we had, because this was telling the past, and then Shine plays as what we are then, as the current present narrator. That's what we was. We needed a dark intro to tell the story, and then we flash back to as we are now. So that was the idea behind it. It was Michael 3985 who did the narrating for us, and it was nice. And some say that his voice suited what was going on, and it worked.
Absolutely.
Of course, I was supposed to do the original, but I only did the intro. If you remember, I did a early prologue test video at the time a few years back to see how it would look as a test, but the official wasn't going to have me doing it because I wasn't going to narrate, because it was too hard. That's why I won't be narrating for anything until I feel like I'm ready for it.
I see.
Yeah, originally Thomas 123 was supposed to be another version, was supposed to be another idea for it, but he was too busy, and I was going to try and get I don't know who else I was going to get, but I did have some other ideas in mind at the time, but we didn't know who to pick, and until I asked Michael about it, and he liked the idea of it.
Okay. I mean, now did you try ask maybe Victor Tanzik possibly, or I don't know, maybe? I mean, Victor Tanzik he's an awesome narrator, like in a series, because he uses Edward as the primary basis for narration.
It's funny actually, because at the time I did this, I didn't even know who Victor Townsend was. It wasn't until I didn't even know who he was until I started watching him in 2017 at the time. But I didn't even know who he was at that point. I wasn't even used to know what he was doing, and because at the time I was just so baffled and confused, because I thought he was breaking every rule in the book with the whole Thomas Rowell. Like you see, like you'll see Gordon or James or anybody else that are too big to fit on branch lines to go to where the Mid-Soda Railway would be, or in other parts of the railway, and you have like because he's done a lot of editing on Soda. I don't know how he did it, and and then he did like oh yeah, on Duck's branch line a little west, and some of the bigger engines were there, and then that weren't even meant for it, and then he did other parts of Soda which would be against the rules. But I could see what he was trying to do, making it like a Thomas / Tugs episode thing, so I can clearly get where he was coming from. But at the time, I was so baffled and confused. I was like, this is against everything that, But now I see where he's coming from, and it's very enjoyable, and I like what he's doing. I just had no idea at the time that this was the individual who did that. So when I was baffled by his narrating and the way how he spoke due to his fast narration, but I saw in one of his videos, he explains the reason why he talks the way he does, and I'm used to it now. But back then, a few years onwards, it was like, what in the world does this user think he's doing? No, that's how I'm admitting to that.
I mean, it's fine. I mean, Victor is a pretty good, he's a pretty good YouTuber. I mean, heck, he even did a story idea last year in his series, which was the Spectre episode, the story about the ghost of the Spiteful Brakeman.
A.K.A. Dominic.
Yeah, that was all me.
Yeah, well, yeah, I remember he mentioned your name in there, which was your idea. That was quite cool.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm thinking, if you guys can end up doing that, I wonder what kind of story I could have given at the time before some of the guys were killed off in the War of Sodor. Because now I'm thinking I could have wrote something there, but at the time, I didn't even know who Victor was.
True. I mean, there are going to be newer characters going to be introduced in Victor's series. As the year progresses. I mean, we've got I mean, we got Paquette and we also got Samantha. So I mean, you could use probably those two. Maybe heck, why don't we maybe I don't know, use Wendell in there for example, because Wendell's in his series.
Has he ever thought about using OCs? Apparently, like non NWR related. Like I know in the War of Sodor, he did use some of our OCs. Like he used one of Shine's. I think he used. I'm not sure if he did use himself, but it would have been intriguing if he would have used any of ours. I wouldn't have minded if I'd appeared. I mean,
Yeah,
he has full permission to use mine if anybody else has got him. I mean, if I was to ask, I wonder what your OC character would have been like, since I've never asked.
well, first of all, he did use one OC, and that was on Mark, the short on Mark.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of his last name, but he was a blue tender engine, same basis as Henry, but I think he had Rheneas's face pack, I believe. And yes, to answer your question about my OCs, I have two OCs, an E2 and a 9F OC.
Oh, nice. So another surviving guy. That's definitely going to PO Timothy off. And then you got somebody who looks like Peter. Then.
Well, more like Murdoch's basis, the 9F.
Oh, I get you.
Yeah. Peter's an 8F.
So, that's quite cool. But I can only imagine. Well, you've seen what my OC looks like, because I'm a hybrid of Gordon and Henry.
I think I have. Isn't it that Purple Duke OC?
That's me. Yeah, even though it was Shine's Ortez who gave me Duke's face, even though that wasn't the face pack I would have wanted, because at the time I was trying to work on a face pack of my own. But what can I say? I'm kind of fine with Duke's face pack for the time being. Goes with any of my versions because it goes with my previous versions of who I used to be. I mean, it works for both my TVS hybrid and my IWS one, which is basically if I find it here, this is basically I'm not gonna like what I'm gonna do here, but it's definitely gonna just trying to find where the hell it was. But my buddy Nicola, I think it was Thomas Pokemon 97, who's done a backup for me. I can just bring it up.
That'd be Nicholas Montanino.
That's right. Or as Nick Boga calls him, Nick Jr.
Yes.
Which I don't want to call it because it reminds me of the Nick Jr. channel I used to watch growing up, and I still did until I was 12 or 13 or whatever the hell it was. Not gonna lie. There it is, and this is what he did for me.
Ah, okay. Yes, there's you.
Yeah, this is me as my Railway Series form. Although, unfortunately, yeah, I don't like that. That was my BR Blue livery, but it wasn't like that. I didn't have that symbol either. It was in that color as well, and that's how I basically started off as. But I don't know why, but he put me in silver in my LNER Express Silver. That's supposed to be my prototype colors. You know, when I came out of the Doncaster Works, and that's exactly what it looked like when I would have emerged. So this is definitely me. If you would have used me, I would have been in these forms.
Oh, I see, but I mean that's pretty good. I mean, yeah, Nicholas is pretty talented. Like he can reskin stuff. He can also.
I'm not good with reskinning. Yeah, I'm never good. Yeah, but as you can see, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff.
And then there's your little thing about those two users there.
And of course, in case you don't know who this is, these are mostly guys I hang out with who are autistic, except for this guy right here, who's my Asian buddy. But most of these guys are Asperger's.
Okay.
Yeah, that's us playing bowling. Oh, at the end of it. Yeah, so that's just it, to be honest. Yeah, and of course, I still don't know what this guy, Engine 94, but he's got a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Indeed.
Oh, a lot of mature content. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah, Not just that, but there were just some things I'm trying to find on there. Yeah, mature kind is one thing, but most of them contain a lot of blood and guts,
Ow.
which is why I don't want to reveal too much. Then, yeah, as you can see, I've done 5 parts of my Thomas and Batman thing, which I was just getting back into, to be honest. Not gonna lie.
Your fanfic of the Thomas and Batman thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically Batman 1989 and a little Thomas and the Magic Railroad referencing in there. But yeah, what that's supposed to be is that basically the reason why I say it in the year 2000, but there's no Magic Railroad in there, but it's based on that time when when we had a new era coming out. But I've done some twists, like I've got Emily and Rosie already in there, as if they've already been on Soda before. Yeah. And you got like Diesel 10, who didn't last very long in this story. He's just basically a springboard thing for Alfred, who's the real bad guy. And, and of course, thanks to Victor, I mentioned Railgate in there. So again, spin-off. And of course, I have, Colin in there along with Liddy and the others who are, well, not bad, but they've fallen victim to the toxic criminality on Sodor, which has basically become like Gotham City. And you got like, I'm sorry if I'm being spoiler, but I'm going flat out with this. If you read it as well, I even brought the Mid-Sodor Railway back in, which is still working. And of course, you've got Stuart and Peter Sam, who are basically who are basically Falcon and Stuart still, who go by their old names. And you got Duke with them, and you got Jim, aka Jim the Jinx, and you got my buddy Crimson, who, if you remember in the Search for Smudger, that's him in there.
Oh yeah, yes, from Thomas 123's little thing about Smudger and Bertram.
I'm not gonna lie, I love that character to the point where I would love to have voiced him. I can't get him working on my train since Chuck sent him over to me. He won't work for some reason. Dependency problem. And not only that, but of course I even put Smudger in there. In this case, he had survived and he had been rebuilt back into his form, and he tends to talk in his swaggy, former swagger, ex-rail gangster-like accent, but he doesn't actually act like one. He just he's as if he's just having fun. He's not really being that way. He's just playing around, despite that Duke doesn't always like it. But you can see the two have tremendous back and forth chemistry with each other.
Okay.
Yeah. He was basically, that's what he is. And we have and of course the Scarlo Railway has still been run by Scarlo and Renea, so I haven't mentioned Rusty yet or Ira Hugh. But I have got Duncan in there as well as evidence.
Oh, Dulgok.
Yeah, Duncan.
Oh, Duncan. I thought you said Dulgok.
No, it's Duncan. That Dulcon's basically Duncan's twin.
Yes.
It's basically him. But yeah, but there's but that's what I'm saying. So even though it's set in the year 2000, it's kind of like an altered version, because even though we didn't get Rose and Emily until later on, but that's what I'm doing in this. It's a separate alternative thing that I was going to do and back a long time ago when I was with the entire team, when we were all doing our crazy ideas to the point where we've all it kind of feels gutted about it, because it's basically like a 3-project thing, because the first story is about Batman coming to Sodor and and they all think he's just a fictional comic book character, and it's like when Michael Keaton's Batman was around, if you remember watching that movie. It's like,
yes,
it's like that sort of thing, except why is he on Sodor and what's he doing here, and you've got, and then but basically Bruce Wayne's played by Val Kilmer from Batman Forever. That's who he is. Instead, he's wearing Michael Keaton's attire, so he's basically a younger Batman. But but as we progress onwards, we might get Superman involved in my next fiction, building up, because it's basically a springboard to something else. And do you remember that photo I showed you in the chat? That's basically the final confrontation of it, and you can see that. Yeah, that's right. You guessed. It's basically a build for that, where Batman's aged and he becomes Ben Affleck's Batman.
Okay. So that's awesome. The Batman Superman crossover into Thomas. That's awesome.
Oh, of course, yeah. Because at the time, I was addicted to it, and I love it. Yeah, it's because Batman's been on Solo at that point for close to 10 to 15 plus odd years or whatever. Because I'm trying to build up to the year that we were living in, and Batman's like aged a bit more now. He's like 45 years of age in that story, and it leads up to where he and Superman still get along, but not quite as you would think. And of course, it gets more darker and darker, and then you have this whole weird thing that I don't want to mention. But that's what happens, and it gets really, really, really a bit deep and darker to the point where it's almost nightmarish. But that's what it is.
All right.
If I hadn't watched Shed 17, I probably wouldn't have come with that idea in the first place. Because I kind of thought to myself, how does he know all this? And I need to put the detective work, and that was where the idea of putting Batman in the whole thing came into play.
Yes, for certain.
But I wasn't sure if anybody had ever attempted that before, So I was a bit skeptical and a bit curious, but I wanted to see what it was like. I did that test poster that you saw with Thomas looking in the background, and you see Batman with lightning bolts surrounding him, and you see the bat symbol in the background. That was basically a test poster to see how well that would be. And I did get some very good responses despite there were some who just felt like I just took shortcut routes. But I spent 4 hours trying to make that poster look good, especially trying to bend the bat signal into an angle effect to make it like it was hanging from the sky. And, that's how it happened, but it was fun, I have to say.
Oh, indeed. It appears that you did work hard on making the bat symbol look like what it wants to be, and you were able to get it done. So,
if I just go, yeah, I did. Yeah, continue on. Yeah. Well, here's like I said in this whole. Let's go back to my show, and that this is what I meant. This is the thing I was telling you about. See?
Oh yes, there's Tomas and Batman. There's the.
Yeah, this is the idea that I had at the time. I spent 4 hours at the time trying to make this look good. And I liked it. At the time, this was just a test. This was not the actual idea. But that's what happened. Yeah, but that's what happened. Yeah, and of course, I did this here for fun.
The Dark Knight of Soda Returns.
Yeah, based on the Dark Knight Returns that Frank Miller did. And at the time I did this, I kind of had this idea like maybe this could be the final sequel after the crossover with Batman v Superman, and this is basically where Batman's a lot older. And I spent 7 long hours getting this done. I mean, it was absolutely a pain in the rear, but I had so much fun.
Wow.
Trying to get, doing what I had to do, and this was kind of intriguing. Yeah, so that's basically all it is. I've done 6 parts here, as you can see. I've done a lot of unique things. And of course, there's me dressed up as Batman from a few years back. I was back then when I hadn't done him for a long time. And of course, there's me dressed up as the Undertaker, which I've done for 12 years long stop, which I'm very well known for doing. Yeah.
Well,
but anyway,
it's crazy.
It is crazy. But anyways, we've been on different topics here, so we haven't made sense, ladies and gentlemen. If any of you are like scratching your heads wondering what the hell you're listening to. But yeah, I've tried to explain the real reason why we've been here live, because of some troublemaker DA posts you have seen on the share screen. If any of you guys who have noticed it, go all the way back and watch what we said earlier, and you'll see the evidence that's built in there. And if any of you guys may or not know who they are, just either block them or report them.
Yes, because it's going to get out of hand, and let's just say my friend Glenn here, he really needs a break from all the stress he's had to deal with.
Oh, I've long since dealt with that, but I just feel like it's unnecessary. Just when I feel like I'm getting calm and cool and collected, and going through with my progress of change again. This has to happen, and for no apparent reason. You know, I mean, the internet was never like this 15 to 10 years back, or maybe back in 2012, where social media definitely had a crazy time, but nothing compared to this. This is like, I don't know what the hell's going on. There needs to be authority control over this, where there's users who are somewhat sneaking on there to cause trouble, and I'm always like being, having allegations sent towards me, and and it just really is a pain in the rear end. And I'm not sure what you guys might think, but if anybody wants to come up here and do another live thing with us, you're more than welcome to, even though we have different time factors in which part of the globe you're living in. But still, if anybody wants to come up and join in with us, with me and Brandon, or if Nick wants to come in, or if anybody else does, just come on up and join the fray, and we can all talk together as one big thing. Maybe we could do that maybe later on, or so. If anybody else wants to come in, if there's free, why don't you see who's free on your side, Brandon? If anybody else wants to come in with us,
let's see. No takers as of yet. Let's see.
I'm not gonna speak to him. I know he's busy. Sorry, man. I ain't gonna put you in yet.
Yeah, Victor is currently busy working on the next episode for his series. Let's see. All right, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Who would be viable to join? That's a good question. All right.
There's probably a few guys on there who would like to be with us, because I know you were in some that were very, very hilarious.
Yes, there were some live streams that I was in.
I can only imagine who else is going to be. Okay. Oh yeah, the same person who, again, Horse Fei, someone fan95 also commented about it, and she too agrees. Yeah, even a cutie has said that I'm sorry that you've gone through a hell of a hard time. I'm glad you chose to ignore them. I kind of have, but at the same time, I don't think I did completely. And it says, and what now? From what Horseman Race Fan 95 has just said. It's just said, keep exposing you for what fashion. That is not cool. Even that gang don't know any better. And now a few of my new friends got backstabbed. Glenn, mate, you know that you've got my back along with everybody else. And just ignore them haters and keep puffing on. Despite the fact she keeps mentioning something called B-Boy Wife Friends, or what the hell it is, but still, at least I've got some stability. Sure, she knows what she's saying.
Of course.
Jesus Christ. Yes, sorry if I offend anyone by saying that, but even I can get slightly paranoid by having too many incense in.
Indeed. There we go.
And of course, you may not realize this now. I had this earlier on, but I got my ticket thing booked last night, and I'm going to the cinemas.
Oh, to see Dumbo.
That's right. I'll be there on March. I'll be there on March the 29th. There first thing, and I'm going to be there. The historic day. It'll be 5 years and 9 months in the making, but it's also a 24-year dream come true.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, because I kind of joked to my dad about that.
Hi, Brandon.
Holy smokestacks!
Holy fuck nuggets! Is that who I think it is, Brandon?
Yes, it is, Devon. You've been. Yeah, I got your messages. Here's Glenn, also known as Campaign Center One.
Hello, David.
Pleased to meet.
Nice to meet you at last. The man who voiced
Pleased to meet you.
Yep.
Pleased to meet you, Glenn. Yeah, and if you probably saw in some. Oh, sorry, I'll let you finish. Sorry. Sorry about that. I'll let you finish.
We have to say, Hassan, it's nice to see you from YouTube, and now here we are in the flesh. Finally hearing your voice at long last, for trying to guess, but especially you were there defending me the whole time with fans who were irritating me about me trying to do my ForeLawled project. But it's nice to hear you for the first time, and our introduction's finally been done. You've already know what I looked like and how, but I never thought we'd do this anyway.
Yeah, and I kind of felt sorry for you because, you know, you lost your granddad and it was a really rough time for you. The heat wave.
Yeah.
And, you know, and with them lot putting pressure on you about, you know, putting pressure on you about the whole, when is the next part of it coming out, that's when I finally just got irritated. And I told the guys to, you know, back off and give you some space and leave you alone. You've been through a lot this year.
That was 2 years. That was back 2017 and 18. What you haven't been seeing for the last 4 months, mate, I've been making video. I haven't done any videosing, so you might be seeing me here on random stream for a bit until I get back until I step out of retirement, because I've well, let's just say it away. It's just, you know, apparently, because you may not be aware of it, but me and the guys like John Tez and everybody else have all gone our separate ways, mainly because of my demons in my life that have made me a bad individual. But I could have, like, you know, listened, but I was, you know, going through a hellhole in life. I was going through the aftermath of the 311 film, and even after I did the final part, everyone's been asking me randomly in every single part, saying, please make this, please make a sequel, is this going to happen, or whatever. And up to the point where I was just not bothered replying anymore.
Yeah, and I can...
And I'm just thinking, like,
I can totally understand your frustration.
Yeah, it goes to show you what, you know, I've tried to tell Arthur, I've tried to tell everybody else. I've got a very, very greedy individuals who are not my fans, where I've got guys like you, for instance, who are my real fans, who love what I do and have patience. But I've tried to explain this. You know, I told Arthur in a debate video once that I was pressured not just by my people on DA who were using me for my, you know, for my advantage, but they were also saying, you know, apparently I told, you know, Arthur that I was very pressured in, you know, by my own teams to get the film done. Otherwise, I was going to have to cancel it by Halloween of last year, which is what my buddy T.S. Castro forced me to do. And I was pressured for 3 months to quicken the pace up. But it worked, but that was also stressing for myself. So there was 50-50 there. But at the same time, I was doing some things that I hadn't seen. And for some reason, Brandon apparently nearly had his eyes popped out for some reason there. What was all that about?
Sorry for that. Jeremy has joined us.
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Yes, that's just me.
Yeah, but now...
Nice.
Yeah, but now we've got, you know, we both had some up and downs, you know, this year, Glenn. But I think this year is the most biggest one we've ever had throughout the whole 21st century, with the whole Brexit thing.
That's one. Just to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, not you guys, I'm talking about the audience who are going to be here live watching this. That's one thing we got to avoid. We do not talk about political stuff.
Okay.
Oh, good grief. Sorry.
That's fine, but...
Oh, by the way, I found something on YouTube that actually nearly creeped me out.
No, what would that be?
Let me show you real quick. Let me mute myself real quick, because also, I'm wearing Easter ears. I definitely did not go and find an Easter bunny.
Like you said, Devan, if there's one thing, I'm hoping we do leave the EU. Then we Brits can finally rebuild what's left, or what is left of our empire. But the fact of the matter is, you brought up a good point. This is the biggest year we've had, but here's my take. Everyone's been talking about this year. They wanted 2019 to come because they were all excited. I'm not gonna lie, everyone was talking about the year they wanted 2018 to end. You know, even I wanted it to end because of the hellhole I was going through.
I found it. Now let me show it to you all.
Problem is, though, Devon, I was not going to
Here it is.
Going to.
What the heck?
Is that a tarantula?
Was that a beehive?
I thought that was a tarantula.
No. I found this and it creeped me out. I couldn't see thousands of bees just attacking a
Okay.
Sort of.
It was really creepy and really.
It's the whole. Well, the parent made in the sword. However, the wasps being the nemesis of the bees, the wasps really wanted to take over the land. So.
Probably.
Don't
maybe
take over
honey.
territory that ain't yours. By the way, Devon, if is it me or is that your OC icon of who you are?
Probably. That's my PC. I'm also watching.
Yeah, technically I'm a turquoise D2, but in trains I have Scar Larry's face. Yeah, and you probably saw Daniel the Duck on Top Secret that Brandon and I made.
Yeah, I think I
saw it. You guys are a nice bunch. Like I said, Devon, I'm very happy now. You kind of made my week a little special. So cheers to you as well, Brandon, for this, man. It's been an honor to talk with you, Devon. And like I said, I actually wondered we were going to do this, but I had no idea we would do it here on a live stream. Because I mainly do it on Facebook or elsewhere, or even on Discord. But I feel a lot better doing it live here. But like I said, it's nice to hear you for the first time, and I'm blessed by it. It's just a shambles. We couldn't get guys like Victor Tangs, and we couldn't get Thomas 102 up here for goodness sake, because that would have been amazing. Because I'd love because he's my idol. He's the guy who respects me the most out of everybody in the fandom. Because he said that once in my first film, at the time when Aidan Bentley was attacking me and kicking my ass verbally. So if I offended anybody on there,
don't remind me of that.
I know, but
is that Vinny the Pooh?
Pooh. It's Pooh. He's stuck in the honey tree. Don't ask me why, because this happened.
I've kind of long since moved on from him. But anyways, Divine, because my old ex-buddy, David Lambert, aka Pun Mountain, who voices OC character, who I can't use, but I've renamed my 1218 in honor of my grandfather, Stan Kelly, because Shine told me to sort that out. But apparently he mentioned in his, what you can't see, because he did a DA Joe on me, which really offended me a lot, although he did bring it up as a good point. Ever since the whole Aidan Bentley incident, that's what made me become, well, let's just say, kind of awoken the true demon side, and I did change. And
I bet everyone in the chat's amazed to see me in the live stream.
It's only my third live stream, buddy.
But still,
that's Yellow Fan Y2, whatever his name is on DA, because his icon was very similar to Jeremy's right here.
Hello, Jesse Ortiz.
I nearly dropped my phone.
Let's see. Oh, yes, Roger, yes. I know with your whole Hangout situation, I get it. But hopefully that can be resolved. New storyteller. Yes, I've seen your video. And yes, and I'm sure that Serena would love it. But anyways,
well, do you know who else would like it?
Oh, and Glenn has left us.
Oh, he's like I'm out of here. But do you know who else would like this? James.
Who? James.
Yes.
James the Brains.
James gets triggered in other stories. I made this one in back in this month.
Okay.
And usually I hit 9 likes and a lot of views.
Okay, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I kind of hit the close button and I went off for a sec.
That's all right.
That's all right.
I was showing everyone James gets triggered.
Jesus, don't remind me. I've heard similar stories about James being triggered in the worst way than anybody could think.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Pastor Tom said, I just realized my boot didn't have any boot laces. That caused James to get triggered because he remembered the time that he broke the coaches and had to use another boot lace to fix it.
Yes, we all know that story. Don't worry, and funny enough, I don't even mention that for 1 second or so in any of my fanfics. For any of you who may not know that.
But he's not the only one. Sorry.
Well, like guys, you may not believe I'm just about to hit my share screen. Now, for those of you who do not know, who recognize me by my name as Kane Fan 701 or for the last 10 years, or Kane Take a Fan, if this photo you're about to see of me, do not be offended. But this was basic. Oh, hang on, my share screen didn't hit yet. If this thing doesn't want to, come on.
What's wrong?
Seems like my share screen here doesn't want to play ball with me.
Oh,
wow,
just wow.
That's sad.
Yeah, but also,
What is that?
so Glenn, I guess that technically you're not the only one who's autistic, since I'm diagnosed with autism as well, with ADHD.
Hang on, it's working. Hang on, it's working now.
Yay!
Yep, it is. That's it. All I have to do is click there, and that's it.
That looks like Darth Vader.
Oh, hang on! I didn't know. I had no idea you were autistic, Darren. The whole time I thought you were just a normal individual.
Well, that depends on
Holy
normal. Well, no one's perfect, because people who don't have autism, well, nobody's perfect in their own way. They have their own differences, but no, nobody's perfect.
Well, I have I have Asperger's syndrome with another disorder, so I'm in an average position, but I do have social problems which I've had. So if you've got any conditioning, I can only imagine what level you're in. But you sound like you're in the lower affection, since you were more since you sound more social. You sound more, I can tell by comparing.
Yeah, well, when I was younger, I really had mad temper tantrums. If anyone insulted me, I'd say I would just flip. Have you ever heard of ADHD?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, most of my friends actually have that, but I don't think having ADHD is a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. I thought that's what my autism was, but it turned out that it's not related. That's very different.
Hey guys, I also make something before I joined. Look,
That
all of my favorite characters.
Oh, nice, your own calendar. Not too shabby, as Shine Ortez would say. Anyways.
Pretty good. I see we have a bunch
now,
of
for those of
characters.
Some of the shows that got canceled.
Jeez. Anyways, in case you're wondering now, my share screen, that's actually me wearing my mask and a black towel over my head. Now, in case you're wondering, that's my identity to go with my YouTube name, even though I don't wear the mask. And of course, to give you an idea, this is basically what I wear when I'm very angry or upset or on the mood of being ticked off. This is what I would have been wearing right now had I not made that DA thing, because this is basically the dark side of my of my autism, of who I am on the inside. This is how I identify the dark side of, when we guys get bullied, and this is who we are when we're angry and why we're outcast. That's basically our trademark.
Glenn, you were speaking somewhat of Batman, I believe.
Yes, he was showing us, or showing me at least, some stuff regarding Batman and Tomas. Speaking of Tomas, Glenn, this is my OC, Glenn.
I saw it. For a split second, I thought it was somebody else, but that's
Glenn,
quite cool.
What's your favorite Batman intro theme?
Ooh.
Oh, I know what's my favorite Batman intro.
Speaking of Batman, I'm very surprised. What made you think I was? What made you think I was talking Batman? I wasn't talking like Ben Affleck's.
Well, technically, I was watching the stream, and when you were scrolling through your DVR, I heard you and Brandon talk about Thomas and Batman. Yeah, so my favorite Batman theme would be Batman Beyond.
I had no idea Wow, I had no idea you were listening. Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard it right there. I had no idea you were there live, mate. That's brilliant.
And also, I left you a message. I told you to not just do us, but do yourself a favor. Don't listen to them. Just let it go through one ear out the other. Sorry, I'm getting all gibberish now. Don't let it go through one ear and out the other. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Don't fight back. It will just fuel the fire. Don't go down to their level, because it's not worth it.
Just actually.
Thanks, man. I had no idea where the chat was, so I didn't see your message at all, unless I'm going to see it when I go live, when I have to rewatch this whole thing.
Don't worry, you'll be able to see it while it's live, so.
Yeah.
I hope so. Yeah, that was nice. Thanks for the information, mate. That definitely is going to... Oh, yes, that's your second OC count of who you are there, Brandon. Nice.
Yep, that was my friend Austin the Red Steam made my 9F OC. The E2 OC was made by my friend Andrew Liago.
Yeah.
I can't really imagine, and I don't know why, but how come you're wearing Rose's attire? I mean, not attire, I mean delivery.
I keep asking myself.
Sorry, Jeremy. Sorry, Jeremy, you're brand new. I don't know you too well, so I didn't quite hear you.
I can be a bit of a chatterbox.
Oh, Jeremy, I just met him the other day. He's pretty nice to talk to. He's even a good sprite maker.
Yeah, I am.
Nice. Well, if you like to, you can always make some good sprints on anything. I'm pretty sure you've seen a couple of sprints of my OC of what I look like, because I'm basically a hybrid of Henry and Gordon.
Well,
yeah, I went to give you an install that.
That's one big female.
Well, yes, that is my girlfriend, Glenn. Her name is Katrina.
Named after Hurricane Katrina. No offense to Mother Nature.
Well, she's from Russia, and I met her end of 2017, and yeah, she goes to the same college as me, and we've been in love ever since. So
nice. So you got someone who's a college mate. That's very, very nice. At least I didn't have anything like that in my time in college. But I wish I could go back in time to be in college, because they were great memories back in them days. It helped me to be mature as the man that I am now.
Oh, of course.
Oh, I can see Sean Ortez, who's now my ex-buddy. I can see Sean Ortez. And there's Liz. Bless her. Sorry, she's like the little sister that I never had. Oh. You were saying Dazzy or
Devran.
Devran, yeah, because I remember the last name.
Yes. Since that you guys mentioned Andrew and Nick, I used to be really, really good friends with them, but I'm not anymore since they accused me of something I didn't do.
Well, I'm still friends with Nick and Andrew, but I'm more close to Nick Boga.
Yeah, I'm good friends with Nick because, he's a very funny guy. And he's actually reasonable.
He helped me with my trains, He helped me solve some problems. And Nick Jr., who's the other Nick, apparently, who's got my OC character, he's still friends. Yeah, we call him Nick Jr. Well, we call him Nick Jr., so we don't get confused with who we're talking to.
Also, this engine is called Fandroid, if you didn't know that.
Fandroid. I think I've heard that name somewhere, but I do not recall seeing him. I'm not sure.
He's a YouTuber that makes music and games. And this is my friend, the Blue Wolf Kid.
Sounds decent enough.
So, Glenn, what is your favourite Batman intro theme? Cartoon, animated series, movie?
Just before we get to that, I want to apologise. I didn't ask you that question, answer that question now minutes ago, because we were all sprinting all over each other. But
talking over each other. Yeah.
As for Batman in the animation, I would go for the original Batman series, because that's what I grew up with.
Adam West.
No, not that one. No, not Adam West. No, the animation.
The animated. Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill as the Joker.
That's right. Yeah, that's my favorite animated Batman in the animated universe. But unfortunately, Batman from The Dark Knight Returns, when he's an older Batman, is close behind as well. Nice.
So yes, Glenn, this is Katrina in real life.
Nice. Very nice. I think the two of you make a pretty good solid one there. It's nice. I wonder how she'd be good in voice dubbing if she ever did.
Well, she does pretty good. I do have some of her voice samples. However, upon her request, I can't really display them on my channel because she'd probably get upset with me if I do that. So
that's fine. As for Batman's other themes, Devon, I think I got it right this time.
You got it right.
Well, it turns out, Devon, the best Batman theme is basically Tim Burton's Batman, the original, because everybody says this is Batman's theme they should always have, and I do agree. But there are other themes of Batman that we've had in the past, including Batman versus Superman, which was really awesome. And then you've got, but I always look back to to the original, because true fact is that film is what really got me into Batman the first time, and then the animated series came along, and then Adam West's Batman came along. So those were the three things I watched, and then Batman Beyond came. Well, not Batman Beyond, no, Batman, the one where he was dressed up like. Yeah, he looked like a spin-off from Venom and Spider-Man. You know, that one, yeah, Batman in the future. Yeah, that came along well. And then since then,
there was Batman Under the Red Hood.
Yeah, not my favorite one, but I liked how Batman was perceived. And I'm not gonna lie to you, but I took some of the lines in a way, because I'm blending it into my Thomas and Batman fanfic as a way in the community and the friendship between him and Thomas, because it's basically a hybrid style. As a matter of fact, if you ever had DeviantArt, Devon, if you ever wanted to, you're more than welcome to, because me and Brandon both have it. You can find me under my cousin YouTube name on that, and you'll instantly find it there with some content that you may not have known about me, but yeah, you'll see that's where most of my ideas from the Clinchfield Curse and Timothy all originate from. Going back 9 years from that. But anyways, gonna hit the share screen around here for one last time. I'm pulling double.
Sorry, Glenn. Do you mind, if we could add each other, in case you want to talk or anything?
Yeah, sure thing. I'll do that. I think we have had before on Hangouts.
No, this is our first time, actually.
All right, then I tried to find you. Okay, there you are. I see you.
Yeah.
I see you. Gonna see if I can find where you are. Yeah, apparently Google Plus will be gone eventually next month, hopefully. But thankfully, Google Hangout Plus also will still be around, so we'll still be able to do all this.
Okay.
And to be honest with you, Devon, I want to be honest with you. What was your favorite part of the whole, of the entire Clinchfield film?
The whole Clinchfield film. I'm not really sure really.
Oh, should we name it?
Well, I mean, when I remember when I think it was in my review of Clinchfield through the Clinchfield Curse. I do remember one of my favorite parts was Edward and 311 having their little conversation, and how the dialogue deliveries from Madison and EE93 were pretty excellent, and I was very impressed.
There's the guy right there, my buddy Chuck, iOS Studios. He did most of the filming for me.
Oh yeah, he actually helped me out with a couple of things, with the 2006 models and stuff, and 2010 stuff.
He's got me and my other models. He's sent me all the American models. I'm not gonna lie, if you like to, I've got plenty of time anyway. This is great. I'm gonna show you some good stuff.
Oh, Glenn, you can actually get the official Tallylin Railway on trains, and I can help you if you like.
That's nice, but I'm happy with. That's all right, but I'm satisfied with what I've got because I'm still new with mine. Because I'm only just getting back to playing video games on here again.
Oh, speaking of video games, I'm going to be getting a gaming computer soon.
Speaking of which, this thing can. Oh, there we go. And guys, I hate to be a spoiler alert, and if anybody sees this, don't say well, you can see this, can't you?
Yeah, it's Batman. I kind of thought that it was Darth Vader for a second there.
No, because I did this in gameplay. I made his cape darker. This is basically Batman versus Superman. I made, if you look closely, he's basically an evil Superman. I've made his eyes glow red because he's basically an evil one, like he is in Superman 3. This is basically the first time. This is one of their first major small battles. And in case you're wondering, why the heck is Shed 17 in the background? Because this is my backstory of the two. This takes place 15 years after Batman first came, or 20 years or so before that, after Batman first arrived on Sodor.
Isn't it Shed 17 a little bit creepy?
Yeah, it is, but in my version, it's not going to be that creepy at all because I have some special ideas under my skin.
Oh,
hang on.
I mean, there's also Project G1 too. So I mean,
G1 will not follow, although I am going to mention it. It will not happen, but it will be mentioned. But Batman foils that idea. Although someone actually told me on DeviantArt about the whole thing. Why don't you have Superman including the idea of Shed 17? Why don't you get Batman to investigate the G1 project? You know, but Batman doesn't do that. He already uncovers that already.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure my shit wasn't going on elsewhere. Okay, there we go.
That's good.
That's fine. Okay, I was in the right position, so I'm just gonna hang on. Let me just get these up for a sec. I'm just gonna click these other things up here. It's gonna be really intriguing here. I wasn't supposed to expose these, but if anybody sees these and tells Paul what's gonna happen, I might get my ass whipped for this. But I don't want any problems. This is something I'm planning to do when I'm ready.
Oh, it's fine. Look, I'm sure. Paul is a very reasonable guy, from what I've heard.
Well, I'm going to ask him. I think he'll find out eventually, because I did see other DeviantArt blokes who have used, you know, his style of
Narration?
Yeah, I mean, his narration's good, but I've also seen him use. Everyone's used his styles and everything else, and he's not made any problems about it.
Oh yeah.
You know? But I'm a bit skeptish on this, so I'm gonna be a bit, you know, yeah, because I'm always worried about what they're gonna think if I used something, you know. Okay, here we go. Wonder who else is gonna pop on and join the party here, because I'm really having a good blast with this.
Well, usually I.
I can only imagine if anybody else is gonna want to join in. If any guys want to join, hang out or whatever. Oh, Dad's husband's gone.
Yep, I just saw him left.
But
Yeah, he must have called it a night. Hard to say.
I don't know what time it is over there on his side, but I'm hoping he comes back in, because I was just going to show him something pretty cool then. I was going to show him a few things on my trains.
Oh, well. Maybe another time.
Well, I'll be here for a while. Yeah, I'm still going to be here for a long time. Okay, my things popped in. And here we go. Okay, this thing... Alright, are you already done Batman v Superman #1? Okay. Okay, here we go. Here are the other ones I had in mind. Now, in case you're wondering, there's Batman, along with Thomas. They're actually investigating what's going on in the complex.
Okay.
I did this on GIMP, which is why it looked a bit weird. I did some clever rendering. They're going in, but he's telling Thomas to stay outside and let him go in and see what's in there.
That's good.
But what happened to him?
You'll see in a moment. Before I do, here's the other one. This one was my favorite one, because I took Thomas on the Magic Railroad and just gimped him out. He fit nicely on the back. There's the 1989 Batmobile, but there's the current Batman as he is then, as he's aged. And he's there.
Hey guys, sorry about that. My internet connection cut it out for some reason.
Oh dear. Well, in case
don't worry, it's all sorted.
That's all right. By the way, in case you're looking with an example of this here, and of course, I'll get the other link up in a moment, but I had to get rid of it. But you'll see it. I think you may have seen it all around the live before you came and joined in. I saw the one where Thomas and Batman outside Shed 17, where they're undergoing some detectiveness. But here's where Thomas arrives at the complex, but Batman's already there, and the two are talking to each other like, "What are you doing here?" or anything. And Batman's like, as I say my Batman impression, "I'm just undergoing some investigation, Thomas. It may be a bit too dangerous. Stay out here and wait for my command."
I wouldn't say command. I'm not criticizing. Well, giving constructive, but not horrible criticism. You know, it's not really like I'm, Batmanish. But I would just say, you know, oh god, what was that thing? What was it?
Well, what I was trying to say was there.
Wait for my signal. Yeah.
That's the word, yeah. Well, I kind of was just giving you an example. I was just being straight up forward there as an example, but my official bat voice wouldn't sound that way because I'm not trying to sound like Batman, like Chris
Batman the
Bale's
Dark
Batman.
Knight.
No, I'm trying to sound like Ben Affleck's Batman, who sounds better. Anyways, yeah, but that's what they're doing here because Batman thinks something's not right in the complex, so he's being, and this is actually the first time he wears his armored suit, not because to fight Superman, but he's doing it as his way as an undercover agent thing, and of course, that's just how he is.
The Blue Wolf has joined us. Hello, the Blue Wolf.
Hi.
Who?
The Blue Wolf
guys
kid.
in the-
He's my friend.
Yeah.
Hello.
I actually sent a link so he could come here.
Nice.
Okay.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard.
Thanks.
Well, of course, that was the thing Deborah and I had. But here's what happens after. Oops, here we go. Now this is actually where Batman's inside Shed 17, and well, I think you can tell by his reaction he sees something that kind of gives him the creeps. Because after installing his bat cams inside to record data in his secret bat cave, he's found something that's horrified him. He realizes now something isn't right.
Oh no! Please don't tell me.
Apparently, he does see. He's not scared, but it terrifies him long enough, and of course he just bolts out of there. But that's what led to his confrontation with the evil Superman, who apparently, like in Superman 3, he'd been brainwashed by that dark kryptonite, whatever it was.
Black kryptonite, yeah.
Oh, is it red?
What black kryptonite does, don't you, Glenn?
Yeah, it's really bad. I've heard that red kryptonite was worse as well.
Yeah. Have you read the comic, the Batman Who Laughs?
Yeah, Batman: The Last Killing Joke, or whatever it's called.
No, not the Killing Joke. The Batman Who Laughs, an evil version of Batman.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I heard it wasn't really too good.
Yeah, technically, it's maybe when we get to talk together again, but just you and me, or just Brandon and me, it would be more, simple.
Yeah, we could get anybody else to join in the fray. We could see if we can get Liz or anybody else to join the frays, or any other Batman fans that you might know of who have Google, who use Hangouts here. I'd be more than happy to be introduced to them. And if anybody else knows who I am,
I'm actually friends with Liz, sort of.
I mean, I was in a few hangout calls with Liz and whatnot. I think Liz might be busy at the moment.
Yeah, she recently got a job elsewhere. She told me on Twitter or wherever it was, and I'm very proud that she has it.
I think she's really busy today.
She is. Now, in case you're wondering, that's actually rain falling on Batman. He's looking over what's left of the branch, and he's guilty. He feels like why have I been gone for so long? This is my fault. I shouldn't have left when I had the chance. Now the whole row is being destroyed by biofused Kryptonian engines. Now I've got to step in there and step up my game.
What happened to Thomas?
Yeah, he kind of ran off as well because he thinks Batman's no longer there. He's left, and I'll get to that in a moment. But what happens is that Batman's basically the main focal point. He's the Dark Knight of Sodor, as they like to call him now, because he left Gotham City because Gotham didn't want him anymore.
Basically, he's the main protagonist of this. He's the main character, the protagonist.
In human term-wise, yes, he is. In human term-wise, he is. And of course, the reason why he left Gotham City because his vigilante tactics were no longer accepted and rejected, and he left to find a new home. And Wayne Enterprises became, bankrupted, so he took all his belongings. He left Wayne Manor because it got demolished, and he came to Sodor to start a new life. To begin a new life as Batman, and maybe start a new Wayne Enterprises. And this is like. What we're seeing here is basically 15 to 20 years later on. So this is basically after his arrival. Since then, he's like 45 years old, at this point. So that, just like he is in Batman v Superman. I cut this one down. And the next one is basically... Oh, here we go.
So is the Fat Controller evil in this one?
Isn't
No.
it the Captain Hat?
He's a good guy. He's basically in his youth. He's still young at this point, but in Shed 17 we get like well, let's just say in a way. I don't want to be spoiler here, guys, but for anybody who's here live hearing this, but it could be your ear. Apparently, he gets kidnapped and abducted, and then you have like that bloke who did the thing that made him an imposter.
Mm.
Yeah, Thomas falls for it. Oh, for Batman. Yeah, and of course, what you're seeing here is the ending of the first film together, where the two are like saluting each other at the end of the first story, which I'm currently writing. That's what Batman looks like. That's basically Batman at the end of the film after his climax, with him in the first film, and the two are saluting each other after the bat signal has been raised. And the two have a very close, but very good relationship with each other. Although Batman, at first, I don't know why you guys are talking and why you have faces, but he gets the idea that he can make friends with non-human individuals, and of course he and Thomas are like brothers in a way. Very, very, very close friendships with each other.
What is that?
Who's high-fiving?
I don't think they're high-fiving.
That's me. I'm doing something.
Oh.
What are you doing?
Trying to fix Paxton.
Oh. I felt like you had a big, massive hedge clippers.
You say that again.
Excuse me. Oh, anyways, anyways, this is really, really awesome. Like I said, we've gone from one topic with me and Brandon, and now it's all gone to this. This is really, really awesome. One thing led to another. Jeremy. Oh, that's there. He's muted his mic. By the way, Darwin, what you're about to see next afterwards. Here it is. I don't want to expose, but you've seen this live, ladies and gentlemen. And Paul, if you see this, please forgive me, but this is done in dedication towards you. And I spent 6 hours putting this together. This is basically the poster of what you've just seen. So what do you think?
It looks really good.
Cool. It's really good.
It's good.
Even like the title, Thomas and Batman and Superman. What?
Yeah, it's basically a crossover. It's basically Batman and Superman with Thomas in Shed 17, but basically with Batman v Superman just blended in there.
And Thomas is always the main character because he always appears in every movie.
He's the main train character, but Batman and Superman are co in this one.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
But I did have some evidence
that?
because I did a DVD. This is basically my DVD cover of it, if it would be a DVD. And that's basically all I had. It's quite intriguing because basically the engines, like you were going to say, what happened to Thomas? Well, he's the only survivor of his team who are in there, but the rest of the engines get kidnapped and they're sent to the Sodor complex to be cloned and have the designed engines to be redecorated.
Be right back, guys.
Hey guys, can I show you something?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
If someone gives me an opinion, look, watch this. Alright, let's just put this on full screen.
What?
Alright, here we go.
Oh god, like someone squashed their faces to just.
Wait, hold on, put it on mute. Let me try that again.
Oh, looks like Brian knocked himself out of the count. Yep.
What was that?
Don't look at me. It wasn't me. Looks like Brendan's knocked himself out.
I'm gonna go back to the face.
We caught you sleeping, buddy.
I'm still here.
That face.
That face is a huge no.
That's actually creepy. If you give someone an opinion, this happens.
Looks funny.
No, it looks good.
Yep, indeed it is.
And this is where actually I saw the most previous thing which Isabella was talking.
Are you kidding me?
No, hold on, I need to find it.
Who freaking has time for pie? Now is not the time to have pie.
You talking about The Rock from the WWF? It doesn't matter.
That burns. Ow.
Oh my!
Ow.
The Rock is...
Is that a pillow? Is that his face?
Ouch.
That's actually his face. It's like, I want to watch this thing. That's why I was like watching this. When I first watched it, I saw that thing. I was like, ah! Well, hopefully nothing bad goes wrong. That was.
Okay, where's my Google hand thing?
Guys.
Okay. Guys, who?
So, pie.
Pie.
Damn.
We got there's a pie right here.
Cool. That's cool. That's goodbye. I mean, pie.
Thank God. Thank God, Lord, the Lord himself upstairs, man, watching over me. Brandon, you there?
Yes.
Brandon, thank God. Daniel the counter just told me. I sent him a
Okay.
note, and he said, Dan the countdowner, and he said, I said to him on a note, says, just look at what you're getting from the idea you are telling mostly wrong things about me. That is not true. And do you know what he just told me?
What did he say?
He said, I intend to.
Okay.
So he does believe me.
Well, we're on the right track.
Okie dokie, where am I? Okay. Oh, I forgot to. If anybody no.
Nope.
Devin,
Stop that.
what happened? Did you see a ghost?
Sounds like you just did.
Or Jeremy, I should say. Jeremy, did you see a ghost?
No, I didn't see a ghost. I just said, "Oh, bother" for no reason.
Oh, okay. Well, but no big deal.
That sounded uncomfortable.
The ghosts are not real.
Oh, here I am. Oh, there I am. Oh, wait, that's the one.
Oh, shoot!
What
sorry.
happened?
What
I forgot
happened?
the motor. I forgot the motor.
Oh.
I hit the wrong photograph. Where am I? Oh, here I am. Here I am. Guys, for any of you who don't really know who my OC character is, I'm pretty sure Davin has seen what I look like. Here I am. Here's my character. That's what I would have looked like.
That looks familiar.
And it's
That's
cool.
me. That is me. In case you don't know who the 701 is, that's my YouTube number.
Yeah.
Wait, I think I met you before.
Now you know.
Wait,
Same
you
guy.
met him?
Yeah. Like Timothy, the Untold Story of Timothy.
That's me, the very same.
Yeah, the very
Like
first.
the 8th part.
That's right, that's me, alright.
That's actually 100% cool.
You're looking at the man behind the mask who voiced him, especially the demon demonic version of who he was. That was me too.
Oh, by the way, I also made something for my friend. Look.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, who's this?
That's me.
Ah.
I couldn't get the graphics right, but it still looks good.
I still love it.
With them shades, man. Yow! Nice.
Ask me if I can make him a tank engine.
I don't know. Apparently, that's me in several versions, but then this other guy made me look like if I was an American. And this is basically my request. There's a GS4 like the 4449 and a J-Class 611 tender as a cold daylight logo.
And also, someone asked me to make the front character, and I did.
Hey,
there's me in my actual form. There's my actual form of my railway series, but in my actual colours.
I'm gonna use that one.
You can always ask, but I don't think it's been made yet.
Okay, I'm back.
Hey there.
I found this
You'll see me again. There's me in my OC form, by the way. Devron. There's me. There's
Cool.
Nicholas. There's Nick Jr., aka the other Nicholas, who made a new version of myself with my Doncaster brother Gordon.
You have
Yep.
Duke face.
Oh, Glenn,
Yep.
do you remember the Untold Story Timothy remake that me and Brandon did?
Yes, I remember seeing that very well.
Was that the
Yeah,
one
sorry
with
if the audio wasn't that good.
Was it the one with the edited face there, Devin?
Yeah. I
Okay.
kind of like that creepy face that Timothy made, but I just really didn't agree with the whole blood thing.
Well, here's the thing. Xavier
Yeah, I
explained to me
know.
the
When
real
he's
reason.
demonic, when he's very demonic, he has blood, but still, he looks really scary without it, to be honest. Because I think the whole blood
Well,
is
I
taking a
kind
bit
of,
too far.
and I kind of left that
Sorry
anyway.
if you feel insulted by this, Glenn. I don't
No,
mean
I'm not.
to.
Oh, I'm not. I can tell you, giving you, I accept it.
I mean, look at Alfred and Thomas Wonder 23 series. He had blood trickling on his face at the end of 91st of Vickerstown.
Which I voiced Constable Chaplin, by the way, who's also in my Batman and Thomas series.
Oh yes, Constable Chap. Yes.
Yeah, basically, Deborah, I was about to tell you, Constable Chap is basically Constable Chap in my fanfic version. He's basically the Commissioner Gordon of Sodor.
I mean, he'd be fantastic with the Joey and Vicky Victor series.
What in the
Oh yeah.
Kid.
Yeah, I kind of took I made Mickey a sort of Winston
I killed the phone. No, it's just a video.
And it's going to be a very special week next week, you know. You may not believe it, Gavin. I did a pre-movie review. But apparently, if I put my thing around, there we am. Apparently, I'll be going to, I'm not sure if you're
Hey guys, remember this bad story?
What?
Who? What story?
Maurice has left the hangout. It says so right there.
Wait, who?
Maurice left the hangout, remember?
Yes, yes, but that was 2 days ago.
Yeah, that made me really sad.
Who was I wasn't there 2 days ago.
I know that. Well, I decided to
Anyway, look, she's a really busy person, so I'm sure once she finds the time to join us, because I mean she did a live stream like a couple days ago regarding under Sile and whatnot. So
was that again?
Yeah, but seriously, what if she was here right now? I'll be shy because I'm usually shy.
Well, I usually be shy when I meet new people, and I'm always curious who I'm talking with. But I'm glad I've got somebody here. Like I said, this is really, really awesome. And like I have to say, it's really good to meet new fans, and hope this could be a new thing. Like I said, since me and Shine and everybody else have had to part ways because of the wrong stuff I had to do. Hopefully, they can get back and solve their differences. Hopefully, when I change and improve more, we can get back together, because I wouldn't have done anything, because I owe a lot to them. If I hadn't done what I did, I owe something back to them, and I want to do something back. But I've got to prove that I'm better than I was, rather than being as I have been, you know, which I haven't wanted to expose. But I've had to say this because of the, you know, if any of you guys had been on TV and I understand what have happened, you either would have been 50-50, you would have been neutral, or you would have changed your appearance about what I would have been forever. But, you know, the last 2 years, people think I haven't changed, you know, but I have. It's just that it's like you can see behind this, well, you can see me through the screen now, but I have changed into an improved individual. I've just got to keep it going. That's the thing I'm always struggling with.
Yeah. Speaking of Shine, Jordan's going to be married soon.
Yes, I'm aware of that, but like I said, Shine and Ariel are lucky to be going to get married. I've never seen one individual get married to another, so that's going to be something intriguing to see. But what concerns me is how long it will last for. But I'm not going to doubt, but I wish them the best of luck for it.
Yeah, I think it's best that we don't talk about it, you know, while they're around, because it might end up affecting their relationship.
And that's another thing that worries me, because relationships can differ, because I lost my girlfriend after 8 long years, and it took me 7 months of 2017 to get over with, but we're still talking together still, which is a good thing. But what happened to me, I don't want to happen to anybody else, because then it makes me feel what I went through all over again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what I don't want to happen, because if something happens to them, it triggers off bad memories for me, and I end up suffering terrible flashbacks. And that's what pains me a lot nowadays. And that's all I ever try and say to people, even though they say, no, Glenn, don't overdoing it. But I'm doing it because I worry, because I went down that path and never almost didn't recover. And that's why I stepped out with other people who have that, especially when it comes to people like yourself who are listening. I'm not sure if any of you guys will be aware of this, but this is what I'm going to be seeing in 4 days' time. I'm not sure if I'm just about to go to my channel. Sounds like someone's messing with their plane set. Oh dear.
Yes, Roger, I've seen your Elizabeth of the Lost arc scene there. That was very well thought of, involving Splator, Daje, and Sir Tomrat in the back controller, because, I mean, that's very informative of this. I mean, I could have added that in the what could have been the Legend of the Lost Treasure I did 2005 scene, but of course the floor was closing at the time, so there's so much that had to be done, so little time. But I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Why did you say that?
Oh God!
Someone's coughing.
Yeah, because you just have to say that.
Did somebody just roll the thing down the wrong hole? I'll take that. Oh, nice. Someone's released a Titanic 20th anniversary edition
Guys,
of the
look what I
song.
found.
Oh, that's bad.
Head to the lavatory. There you go.
Why did we do that?
Well, that's just great.
So what do we do now?
Chat, I guess.
As we have been. Okay, where are you? This is what I'm going to be seeing in a few days' time, if I can just find where it went. Ooh. I'm not sure what you guys think, but I want your opinions when you see this. I'm pretty sure Devon will like this too. I think we all will.
Oh, let us see it.
And of course,
Be right back, guys. I'm just gonna do my dinner.
I already had mine, so I'm full of them up. I'm gonna play it again later on when Stan doesn't see this. He's gonna be coming now. It's gonna make you excited. I think Brandon knows what I'm talking about, but don't say anything.
Don't worry, I'm just looking at the trailer.
Oh, you will be what I'm about to show you. It's gonna get your blood running. Jesus. Where are you? And here it is.
Huh? Dumbo.
Yep, he's coming back in 4 days' time.
It's another old movie. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, I feel so weak.
Sounded like Henry then for a second. Whole family here. Wow, how small we are.
Everything's like in real life.
No, this was just edited.
I know.
Like,
Holy sh!
Sometimes I wish Liz can join. But she's busy.
oh, she gone. I'm sorry.
I know.
So very rare. Hey, it's Batman.
At least I'm
sorry, boy. But it's gone.
My magic.
like,
Come with me, and together We'll get a saw on the elephant's wings.
Oh
Take a look
boy.
outside.
Mommy, no.
Look at me, kid. We're gonna get your mom back. Awesome. There's Michael Caine, and he hasn't aged a step.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Oh!
SUV.
Just like in the original.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh,
Oh my
You can do
god.
it.
run.
Show them.
I'm toast.
Toast.
Me.
No. All toasters. Toast.
I'm completely toast.
Bum, bum.
24 years I've waited for this.
I wonder what's coming.
Yep. A Tim Bertram
Mark.
production.
Wow.
Written by the Reverend W. Audrey.
Sorry. I miss
Sorry
him.
then, lads. What did you think of that?
I miss him.
I wish I was friends with Andrew, actually.
Yeah.
Andrew?
I'm almost
Yeah.
certain. I'm almost certain that you will. I'm almost certain, Roger. It's an interesting question. I'm sure Glenn wouldn't mind if you have any roles open for Roger, my friend.
Yeah.
So, Brandon, what did you think of that? What you've just said?
That was pretty good. I mean, yeah, I know it's been a long time with Dumbo. I mean, we're also getting Aladdin like next month, so that's going to be very cool to see.
Aladdin will be in the summer, at the same time the Lion King comes back. So that's why
Yes.
this year is a very intriguing year. As everyone said, this is the biggest year that we've all going to have.
I know. I mean, and Toy Story 4, like
I haven't seen
Yep.
it.
Toy Story 4 is not out yet, so
Now I'm
That's
intrigued to
what
see how this
Toy
will end the
Story
whole
is out
story.
I
I
know.
always think Toy Story 1 and 2 were the best.
Oh
You okay?
So what do you think, Jeremy? What was your opinion when you saw that trailer I just showed you guys?
It was awesome, except for the part when he screams. It made me like, including the clown thing.
What do you and Blue Wolf? What was your reaction? I could tell you were definitely going nuts when you saw that.
So
Yeah, I
what?
did. I was not expecting to actually make another Dumbo movie.
You
Ow.
know, well,
How?
it's been
What the heck?
5 years and 9
Barely
months.
got into creation somehow.
Oh,
Hello, somebody else is wonderful.
hi, very old engines.
This is heavy. Yo.
What are you?
Hello. This is in case you're wondering who this is the real Team Fan 701 behind the mask. The man who did Timothy, in case you're wondering who he is. Oh,
Jeremy?
Are you okay?
is that you, Jeremy?
No, that was the... Oh, he left.
Oh. Ah,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Barely Odd Engine Creations is a good friend of mine. He and I have collaborated in redubs and projects.
Looks like he kind of bowed out there. Looks like he got scared to death there for a sec.
Must have been called away somewhere, but that's
I guess
who
we're on the
knows?
way to...
Perhaps the Fat Controller
I
wanted to
just
see.
burnt myself.
You burnt yourself.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
no.
really? Did you
I'm-
actually did that?
I'm
You didn't burn
fine.
your face. You didn't burn your face, did you? Then you have to wear a cane mask.
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm fine. I'm
Like the
fine.
mask I was wearing.
Jesus.
I'm fine.
My mom nearly burned her hand once.
Yeah, I haven't been. But I'm not gonna lie, I only got killed by a firework not long ago. Luckily enough, I ducked under it and he grazed my head.
Ouch.
Didn't hurt though, it was just one of those swoopy ones that just blew out of nowhere.
But I wonder who will join now.
That's a mystery.
Good question. That is a very good question. Who is going to join the fray with us?
Guess we'll have to wait and see.
It's going to cut that again. Yeah, before that was quite cool, like I said. I mean, Michael Keaton in the movie with Danny DeVito, aka Batman and the Penguin. It's going to be amazing because you guys, I advise you guys to go on March 29th, but you have to book in to get your tickets. I've already done with mine.
We can say that again.
Yeah, because they brought back Casey Jr., who looks like $1,000,000.
Oh, what?
As a matter of fact, let me just see if I can just. Oh, that sounded like a high-pitched whining for a second. Here we go. Here we are, lads, if you can see. Okay. Can you say, Brandon?
Did I do the jump scare?
No, I think you tried to do Timothy's jump scare. That's not my voice, man.
No, I was like damage the table like Circola.
Oh,
I messed it, Timothy's.
Anyway, let's get back to the
Oh.
Are you? Are you?
These all the screen caps I found. Oh, look! Oh, there he is. Look at that. There's Casey Jr. He's coming back.
He's coming back to pull the circus trade.
Yeah, but that's him. But you know what's different about him?
Wait, Casey Jones Jr.?
No,
That's
it's
him.
Casey Jr.
He's back.
How long have he been like? What's the word?
Yeah, well, you know what's kind of cool about this is that because in the animated original, he was basically a 4-2-0, where in this case, he's actually an American 4-4-0, and in reality, there was a lot of them back in them days.
Well, that's super true, yeah. That is
But
true.
here's the thing: this film isn't taking place like in the original, which was in 1941. This one takes place after World War One, so we're looking at about roughly 1918 or 1919, or I dare say 1920.
Huh.
Yep, it makes perfect sense because there was a lot of these engines like Casey Jr. back in them days. Because they dominated American railroading for 50 plus years. And if you think that was quite nice as well, like I said, Casey Jr. had a lot of cool whistles, and one of them was one of the whistles that I was using at the time. Yeah, and of course, you may not believe it as well. Like I said, here's the this here is the T poster that you can find in cinemas. This was like the T's poster at the time.
I never saw it.
Well, this is what it is then. Eventually we had this. This is the theatrical poster, which you can now see in studios everywhere.
Oh.
Oh.
This will be the best remake that they've done, and critics have said this is Tim Burton's best of 10 years. Not to mention Michael Keaton, who's down there. He says it was the most beautiful film he's ever been involved in his career.
Oh, cool.
So I am so looking forward to portraying. I mean, well, not portraying, but hope to see how he plays in the film. Yeah, and of course, yeah, these are the screen caps I found, and of course, that's where this is where we'll be heading off to. You know, this is basically the big thing up to where our little hero is taken. Going into the future. But what I was shocked about when I saw Michael Keaton for the first time, this here is the most iconic shot ever. At the time I thought he had aged, but it's basically a wig he's wearing, but I thought that was real hair. And that's the exact same expression I had when I first saw the teeth trailer, which was amazing. Oh, someone's got their dog loose. I'm not sure what you guys think, but every time I see this clip here, I keep thinking of Star Wars.
What is that noise?
Flying rockets.
You got it.
Yeah.
Wait, is that from the movie?
Yeah, this is basically from an exposed tease trailer that we got a few weeks ago. But this reminds me so much of Star Wars.
Oh, the Blue Wolf kid left again.
Yeah, around here. Yeah, in a very funny, strange way. But I like what the idea they're doing here.
Oh, okay.
Intrigue, very, very. And if you may not believe it, but there are some tease references from the 1941 that you may not notice. And this is one of them. It pays homage to the original, which is what this film is supposed to do.
Oh.
And here is one of them.
Oh, he come out.
Yep, there's Michael Keaton. Again, reading the news. And look, if you look carefully, this is just like it's the information in the newspaper, just like in the original 1941. Great homage. You can see the reference.
Yeah, we can. I'm not blind.
Pretty good. And what's good about this whole movie was filmed right here in England. The same movie studio where Tim Burton filmed Batman in 1989.
I made some shout outs to people. Wanna see?
Intriguing. Let's see who they are then.
Okay.
Ah, I know him. He's one of my oldest fans. I know him a bit.
These are my friends.
I'm not sure if I've seen him. Nope, don't recognize these guys. Try Boy. Oh, I'm not sure about him. Nope, don't recognize him. Nope. Don't recognize most of it. It may be a while since I've seen any of these.
We're everywhere.
Yep, I know she was in my 311 film. She voiced 311's innocent side. Ah, there's Andrew. Didn't know he was there. We got quite a bunch of them.
Yeah, the last one's gonna be like I have a lot of them. Seriously.
Oh boy.
My friend.
Sorry for my buddy who didn't make it. I'll do it on the next one. Don't worry. And this is usually the animation I just made with it. Actually, I just go on Google Photos real quick.
I feel like I've heard this line somewhere before. It's really coming up. No, I've heard that somewhere.
There it is.
Where?
Isn't there? See the information?
Oh.
I tried it.
No.
Isn't that cool? I just did an animation of it.
Going back upstairs.
So what do you think?
Intriguing.
Stupid.
Very intriguing.
I'm gonna have to put you guys on the next one too. I'm gonna be making.
Okay.
Also, this used to be my old intro.
Very cool. Where are we? What's this video?
That used to be my old intro, but I switched it to the other one.
Where's the family vacation?
Look how many subscribers I have.
It's blurry. Oh, never mind.
No,
Can you see?
I see him.
Oh, the subscribers.
The way I think it goes now is AJ, even though he should be the face DNA, it's quite comfortable in DNA. He knows he'll always have a job and he'll always have a spot in the card in DNA. So I think
78 subscribers. There was 78 subscribers right now.
Not me. That isn't me.
They are releasing people left and right. It's already been reported that apparently Peabody's coming out as well, so they're just releasing these.
Usually people have 4 subscribers.
I ain't me talking about it. I'm just watching a video.
I keep releasing all these people who offensive people that their fans will see keeping it down. People who are taking so much money and are not keeping the ratings. They're supposed to be taking it to the sky, brother. But they're not, brother. No.
they don't have a contract on standby page and style that says volumes about that company. I mean, you would think, oh, okay, photocopy here, fine.
We are getting somebody should have turned around addiction, flatten up, and say, you're getting the exact same rate as we got 4 years ago. It will not make a difference. We are in financial peril right now. Our company is going to go under. Your daddy's going to pull the plug. Let's get rid of Sting, Hogan, and Angle. Let's go back to the meeting.
Oh, Carl.
Whatever they want. Let's focus on our younger talent and try and rebuild that company and try and get back in the black and save our fucking company. Instead of releasing everybody who are paying fucking pennies to, how about release the people who are paying loads to and aren't doing a fucking thing for the company or the ratings?
What was that?
Oh, jeez. Carl Dawson, you and your epic funny rants. Apparently, I was just listening to a video. I've got a buddy of mine who just, who's well known for his cool reviews, but he's also known for his rants, and he goes off on a tantrum, and it sounds so hilarious.
Oh,
Going off, it was just, yeah, he kind of goes into a frenzy, and it sounds hilarious. It's like a comedy thing, but he's really good. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Hey guys, I'm back.
Oh, hey there, Devin. You just kind of just missed well, you're going to hear it on the live chat afterwards. But it was quite funny. I was just playing a funny video and somebody...
actually, I was here with my mic off. I heard you laughing. Some person called Carl.
Yeah, did you not notice it as well? Apparently, did you?
Yes.
You may see it in the live chat when you rewatch this, but we played the Dumber trailer.
Yeah, probably.
Have you not seen it?
I think I have. Yeah, it immediately made me die of laughter.
Yeah, I showed it to you, lads, but Gavin never saw it. Maybe the next
I know there's another Carl who's quite funny. Have you heard of this guy called Carl Pilkington?
I think so, but not the same.
Yeah, he's kind of the one who comes up with these random stupid things that are impossible. And there's Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant, and they laugh at him and they find him really extraordinary. And they choose Carl and say that he's got a head like a fucking orange.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God, I think I found something here. If you want to see something that's very hilarious, lads, you're in for something quite funny. I used to watch this every Saturday in the morning from 8 a.m. to 12 or 1 a.m. in the morning, the afternoon, and something to do with football, whatever it was. Dubbed Soccer AM, and I'm trying to find whether it was.
There's no bag down there.
As you didn't listen, since the bag already full.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Sheesh.
Okay.
He's down here. He's down here somewhere. If I can just follow where he went. Tell me about it. Where is it? Oh, there he is. Something I have watched for a long, long time. I can just, but this is something hilarious, you guys. This is what I used to watch back in the day when it was really good. Here we go. This is so hilarious.
My ears.
This is to do with like football. These guys who did a chant, and it was like a what. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
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 This is gonna be so hilarious. There's the blue bloke.
Yeah, just stop talking. I want to hear it.
They're basically like UK wrestlers. And there he is. Get
Let me see
ready.
No!
Oh no!
What the?
Nothing.
Shut up!
Where I put this?
The football chance.
Oh, good grief.
And
That's what you saw?
That was a Soccer AM. That was called Soccer AM Wrestlers. The bloke attacks him up behind and just knocks him out and then does an infamous chant, which is so hilarious. Oh my lord. Those were good times, man. If you thought that was bad, he even did this one thing, which was so funny. He did it again in another one, and it was like, what the heck? And it's just so hilarious. This is
seeing people, you know, who bully people and then they end up getting slapped back in return. Do you find those kind of videos funny?
Yeah, well, this is just pretend. I think it's for a laugh.
You will laugh your ass off at this. Hold on.
Oh, here's another one here. So good.
Okay.
There he is. Watch. He's right there. Watch.
Okay, I sent it.
There he is.
Full screen. Put it on full screen.
Toad's got him. 1, 2, 3.
What is wrong with that person?
No. Didn't want to.
What's wrong with that person?
So,
Oh, good lord.
oh my god, that's British comedy for you right there.
Ah,
Oh yeah, I've seen that video. I've seen that, Davin. I've seen it a few times. Yeah, my brother showed me that one. Brilliant.
I just wish I can understand to if we could be friends.
And fire!
Because I'm usually
fire.
I'm a fan of Andrew for so long.
That is
Really?
Foley. Oh, who else is joining the fray? I didn't notice.
Let me check.
Who?
Oh, it's alright, because I keep hearing different voices and different level tones. It's like there's somebody else in the background. Unless my hearing's playing a trick on me.
Yeah, I think the ears are playing football.
Perhaps. Oh, if you thought that was good, Davin, here's this one here. He does an unbelievable clothesline and a weird dropkick. It's so hilarious. It's like he slipped over a banana.
Where's Brandon? Oh, not again. Oh, jeez. I think he's coming back.
What's happening?
Yes.
He didn't see it. Restart that. He didn't see it. Redo that. He didn't see it.
Here the replay. You didn't see that. Here it comes again. What a clothesline!
Die. Read.
What is he saying?
He's saying, that's his victory pose. Oh, jeez. They're so catchphrase. Once you hear these things, they're so hilarious, man. Oh, those were good days, man. Back in from 2005 to 2008, I think it was.
I wasn't around at that time.
Oh boy, oh boy.
I never.
Wait, what is that? Wait, what is that? Click on that video right there of the soccer.
That one?
Yeah, that. I want to see that one.
No, that one's forbidden.
Let me just. I want to see it.
This one. Oh yeah.
Put on full screen because I like seeing on full screen. Oh, not the blue one again. He's gonna get himself injured.
It's that guy.
Here he comes.
Oh!
Ooh!
Okay.
One,
So strict sometimes.
3, and you're out of there.
Ooh! That's gotta hurt. Ever stop doing that?
Tuesday.
Jesus, what's gotta hurt?
Yeah, apparently this is just all playful. It's not real. It's just for fun.
I know, it's just fun.
It is. That was back then when it was really good. Oh, hang on. Where's the one? He does it again, but it's in a different.
What is that?
I'm like some sweatpants. Those are brand new. Go ahead, Spice.
Oh, there it is. He did it again, but it's on the infamous show called Deal or No Deal. Has anybody heard of that? You know, the infamous quiz series called Deal or No Deal, but he ended up doing it again. Is anybody else here? Daz, Devin? Devin or... It seems like I think everyone's on the news. He did it, and he did it again in this one, in case you're wondering. Show me if you're there. There he is. He does it again, but if it's a bit blurry, but it gets a bit hilarious here, and the crowd actually joining with him. Big deal, no. Just gotta make sure the volume's right. Here we go.
I just said get back.
Get back!
No! Got him again!
Uh-oh.
I did it again!
Guys,
Oh,
he's here.
oh, hi, Mikey.
Hello, everyone.
It's nice to see you.
Yes, it's nice to see you guys too.
Hey, Mikey.
Hello, Devrin. Hey, you want to know something really shocking?
What happened?
Oh, God.
What happened?
I saw that Liago unblocked me for some reason on Hangouts. I don't know why he did it.
Oh.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, well.
No.
I have no idea.
Oh.
Whoa, who's that?
Wait for him to say something, just in case.
Come on.
Might get, apparently you may have heard of me, but you've never seen me.
No, I've never seen or heard of you. Who are you? Wait
Well,
Nah,
a
actually, I've never met
second.
you.
You look familiar. You seem... Oh, let me guess. Are you that person that made the Clinchfield curse?
Wait,
The
what?
very same.
Wait,
You're that person? No way!
wait,
Game
wait.
701.
Come on.
I'm confused. What?
He's also the voice behind. He's also the voice actor for Timothy. Well, evil Timothy.
Yep, I also did Flying Scotsman. I did Eagle in the in the NWO Origins. It's me, and I even did Constable Chap as well. My voice is very familiar.
Oh, now I get it.
You know what? You did seem that guy to me when I saw a glimpse of you in the stream. I didn't really.
Okay.
My neck.
I wasn't expecting
my
to,
gosh.
run into you.
Oh,
I'll just clip my neck
I
out.
think he
Oh my
left.
goodness!
He left. The question's over. I think he
I
left.
sent an invite. That is awesome.
Yeah, that's me, mate.
Speaking of Timothy, Glenn, you remember the Untold Story of Timothy movie? What happened to the
Yeah,
guy who? What happened to the guy who voiced innocent, normal Timothy when he was confronting Thomas? You know, what happened to that guy?
Yeah, whatever happened?
Well, let's just say he and I party
Hang
ways
on a
after.
minute.
He kind
Hold
of
on. Hold on, Glenn.
Wow.
Guys, can you can whoever's making that noise
It's not me. It's someone else, not me.
well, to be honest
Oh wait,
with you,
Blue. Did you?
well, to be honest with you,
You know what? I'm gonna have to tell my friends about this. That I'm in the car.
I can barely hear you guys.
Movie.
Hold on, Blue. Can you mute yourself, please?
Blue, can you just like mute yourself?
Yes.
Why won't be muted?
No, mute yourself. Because like I'm talking.
Well, like I said, you
Okay, you mute yourself.
well,
Thanks.
looks like Brandon's let the call. It's just down to us now.
I don't think he's
Can't
left
wait to meet.
permanently. I think he's been called away.
Well,
So, yeah, like
that
we-
means we've took it over for him.
Yeah. So yeah, like I asked, what happened to the guy who originally voiced normal Timothy? You know, when he was confronting Thomas.
Well, let's just be honest. We kind of play ways, and eventually, after he found out, you know, when there was like, you know, how should I
Did you
put
guys
this?
have a
Let's just say,
fallout?
well, let's just say he kind of didn't like the idea. He
All right,
liked
guys, I
like,
gotta go.
Alright.
Bye, Mikey.
Well, that was a quick introduction to him. But anyways,
He's a nice guy.
well, at least he sounded cool. He was absolutely he was shocked. He was shocked when he found out who I was.
Well,
Well, I am a bit of a legend. I'm one of I'm from the older generation. But anyways, it's just that the thing is, he kind of, he was on Demon Out for a while, and he eventually ended up doing his own version of Timothy, and eventually, over time, he kind of got bored of the character. He mentioned me a few times. I tried to get him to voice his lines for me, and then when Holland the Kurt Roman came along, he kind of didn't want to do the voice rolling anymore. He, then didn't like the character anymore, and then eventually he hated what I had done at the time. He didn't like the way how I kind of gave it to him, his character or whatever it was. Felt like I wrote, and then eventually when I did the spin-off ending for Shunter Production at the end, which I did in dedication, not to mock, but he didn't like how it happened, and eventually he got into an absolute hatred about it, and then eventually he just, I don't remember how it happened, but I'm trying to remember, but he just didn't like it anymore. He parted ways, and then he realized I hated the character, and he didn't like what I did anymore, and he despised my acting, I think, and we just parted ways. So eventually I took that role. But my other guy, I did have somebody else I was going to do the role for, but he would make Timothy
I
speak
could
a
do
different
it for you if you like, because when Nicholas sent me some innocent Timothy lines, mine was kind of it was emotional, but he was yet full of rage.
Yeah, well, it's fine with me because you may remember in my Clinchfield thing I did Timothy, I was actually voicing for real because I was actually not crying, but at the time I was doing the lines, I was pretty down and broken with my life. So I kind of did the exact same thing to him. Oh, looks like there's and I did that as well, and eventually Mike, he sent me an introduction. Nice.
Oh,
But still,
yeah.
I'm not really a big fan of your normal Timothy acting, but your evil Timothy acting, that's brilliant.
Well, everybody knows who I am.
Billy.
Yeah. If you hear that demonic voice, you know exactly who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's just say my instant thing I'm still getting used to.
Mikey said join and I'll call you soon.
Oh. Looks like he's come back in again. Oh. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm still trying to get used to the whole thing at the time because